Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. Today I would like to discuss the Australian extreme metal act, Impetuous Ritual. Impetuous Ritual at this point have put out 4 full-length albums, and they are known to have 2 members from the relatively more well-known band Portal. Portal and Impetuous Ritual have a lot in common up to a point. Nightmarish death metal that's focused on non-musicality. But overall, I would say that Impetuous Ritual are a war metal band with a very cavernous, noisy production that also takes a lot of influence from black metal and especially brutal death metal. But this band is definitely not really a riff and song based band. It's all about the atmosphere. Another trademark is their guitar solo styles, kind of in the vein of Slayer, but longer and more chaotic and non-musical. So all 4 of these albums have 9 tracks and are all on Profound Lore Records and all have incomprehensible song titles, album covers, album titles. So I thought I'd spend some time with these albums and see if I could put any insight on them, maybe some qualities that differentiate them. And if I'm being honest, I'm not sure if I really came with a whole lot. But nevertheless, we're going to look at these albums. And I remember I was listening to these around the house one day, and my wife and son walk in. They're like, what is this stuff? And I said, what if I told you that I have listened to all 4 of these albums 3 times in a row over the last month or so in the car on the way to and from work. And all that just to show you guys on YouTube and walk away with 30 views if I'm lucky. But besides the point, we're going to start off with the debut album from 2009, Relentless Execution of Ceremonial Excrescence. My favorite songs on here are probably Ritual of the Crypt and Inexorable Blasphemies. I'd say this one has the clearest sound. It's the easiest to penetrate, and probably the band's most accessible normal death metal release. Next up is 2014's Unholy Congregation of Hypocritical Ambivalence. This one here might be my least favorite of the bunch. I just find that the metal doesn't hit as hard and just seems the most meandering overall. My favorite tracks are probably Despair, long, brooding song. Definitely sounds like the album, like the song title, Despair. And then I'd say In Servitude of Asynchronous Duality. Sometimes during these songs, you'll hear these high-pitched sounds, and you're not really sure, is that some strange scream, or is it a high-pitched guitar squeal? And I think depending on the song, both of those things are true. In this song in general, in particular, I believe that is a scream that brings to mind Prescriptor from Apsu. Next up, we got the third album from 2017, Blight Upon Martyred Sentience. It starts off with Void Cohesion, which I think, despite being an intro, is one of the best songs on here. It's a long, nightmarish intro that's just very dread-inducing and just makes you think that something very epic and very bad is about to happen. I'd also say that this is the most war metal sounding release and kind of the most hard-hitting, pounding album they put out. Finally, you have the most recent album from 2023, Iniquitous Barbaric Synthesis. Ranking these albums is kind of pointless, but I do find that this album, their most recent one, is their peak at this point. It has the most replay value, has the most variety, and has some of their strongest songs to date. Definitely has two sides. The first side is very intense and, again, war metal influenced. But the second side shows you a different side of the band. You have Psychic Necrosis, which is over 12 minutes, a very varied track with a doomier theme. And then the closer, Metapsychosis. It's another long track that highlights the black metal aspect of their sound and is probably their most black metal influenced song and probably my favorite song that the band has ever recorded. So that's it. Just a couple minutes on Impetuous Ritual. Expect a Portal video fairly soon. And thanks for joining me. See you next time.